I want to, before we get started this afternoon, I want to give special recognition to a few companies. One is our audiovisual firm this year is a certified MBE, Boston Sound and Lighting. Kenneth, could you just stand up so everyone can see you? So as you might imagine, we always spend a lot of money on AV at these events, and so I was really happy that we found a certified MBE that we could spend our money with, and I hope everyone appreciates the great job Kenneth is doing today, and get his card, go to his website, which is bostonsoundinglighting.com, and look him up. So let's give him another round of applause. I also want to thank again our Bears Den sponsor, Peralta Design. Where's Ramon? Ramon? So if you were here this morning and witnessed the Bears Den competition, it was a lot different from what we've seen in the past. Now, one of the things I can tell you about G&E MSDC, no matter what you do, someone's going to complain. So I ignore it now. So we've had some folks complain, oh, the MBEs you had today were too sophisticated, they were too large, they were too good. Well, to me, that's what MBEs are supposed to be about. They're supposed to be large, they're supposed to be successful, they're supposed to be knocking it out of the park, not just struggling. So I want to thank all of the participants in the Bears Den competition for raising the bar and holding up high, because we got to start thinking big. We got to start thinking bigger than we've ever thought before if MBEs are going to make a difference in this country. So thank you to all of the participants in the Bears Den competition. And thank you, Ramon, for being the sponsor for the Bears Den competition. So it's my pleasure now to invite to the stage and introduce Diana Pagano of Interpreters and Translators, who's also a certified MBE. And Interpreters and Translators are our conference and expo sponsor. So I'm going to ask Diana to come up. She's going to, make a short presentation, and then she's going to introduce our luncheon speaker. Diana.
Thank you, Peter. I'm not as tall as him. So Peter said to take my time today, and if anybody knows me well, I tend to ramble. So I brought some notes just to kind of keep it structured. So my name is Diana Pagano. I'm with the VP of Sales and People Operations at Interpreters and Translators, Inc. We've been around for 33 years. I joined ITI almost 4 years ago this December. Wow, and even saying that, I'm like, wow. I guess they say time flies when you're having fun. So my boss is in the room. I'm sure he's going to be happy to hear that I'm having fun at ITI. On a more serious note, what do? We bridge the gap in communication. Sorry, this thing keeps falling. There we go. We bridge the gap in communication in every sense of the word, from every angle that you can possibly think of. In communications of all levels, whether it's a face-to-face interaction from an in-person interpreter for our healthcare clients, which we're pretty heavily in that space, or on-demand audio or video remote interpreting, which is another form that we do. Really trying to stay true to our core values and being innovative and just having the technology in this ever-changing industry is really the way to go, and that's what we strive to have. Communication is probably the most important element in human interactions, is how we're communicating. We hope organizations, communicate with their target audience, whether it's locally or on a global level, and having a cultural competence approach to that. The way that you speak, or even on a document translated material in California, which is where I'm from, San Diego, and the way that you communicate with the Spanish population in the East Coast is very different. One of the things that I realized is that early, my parents are originally from Mexico. My mom has broken English, and when she would get these forms from her healthcare provider, I was like, Mom, I don't understand this language. Like, I know how to write, I know how to read. I went to school actually in Mexico for 6 months where I learned most of those written skills. It doesn't make me a translator by any stretch. But I remember thinking to myself, like, this is not how you say car. There's so many different ways in Spanish how to translate a word. You can give it to it depends really just on your demographic and who that is. When I moved to New England and joined Interpreters and Translators, Inc., I was really like, wow, there actually is an industry for this. So all the times that I was interpreting for my parents as a young child, English terminology is hard, medical terminology is hard in English, let alone in another language. And I learned that, it really matters who your audience is. It's not just the accuracy perspective, but it's how you want to reach your audience on all levels, whether it's your personality on your website. One of our clients, actually, when I first joined, I was in 6 months. One of our clients based here in Massachusetts told me, she said, translation is like an art. And I was blown away because I was actually learning from our clients. It was actually pretty awesome in my early time at Interpreters and Translators, Inc. I really feel it's just fundamental. Not, like I said, we're not just looking to translate and bridge the gap in communication with our client's audience from an accuracy perspective, but really looking at what the client's goal is. Like, what's your end goal in mind? Because there's one thing to say, we want to do the accuracy level. Another thing is really, how are you trying to impact your audience? And it's really more about just going underneath the hood with our clients. Part of our core values, as corny as it sounds, everything that we do is all based on our core values, because that's what really is going to spit out the results that our clients are looking to achieve. And so we like to be known more so as a strategic partner than just a vendor. It's easy to be a vendor, but it's not as easy to be known and to be a strategic partner to our clients. And it's something that we find as a compliment when our clients actually see us as a strategic partner, going underneath the hood to identify and discover what is it that your end goal is. Who's your target audience, not just from an accuracy perspective, what's your personality, what is it that you're trying to really accomplish from a local level or a global level. And that's kind of what sets us apart as we go underneath the hood with you guys to really discover and identify what are the solutions that are best going to fit your needs. We service a lot of manufacturing companies, aerospace companies, heavy in healthcare as well. And I'm telling you that I'm almost 4 years of being in this industry. I'm just appalled, just completely surprised at whether I'm visiting a hospital or I'm visiting an insurance company. Like, everybody has such a different dynamic, and not every solution is going to fit every shoe. So it's almost just identifying those needs. One of the things that I really drive forward in our sales team is, how are we showing up for our clients? It's not just, here's a service that we provide, here's a brochure, which one do you want? Okay, you want to translate this, or you want to communicate for this training or that e-learning that you're doing online. Whatever form, whatever solution that you're looking for, it's not just, here's our number, call us if you need one of these services. It's actually like, let's get together, let's talk about what the end result is and how do we bridge that gap. So having that cultural competence is very important, because we have clients that their target audience is in the Northeast, or their target audience could be not just locally, but also on a global level. So it's very, very unique, guys. And I guess my biggest thing is when I went around even just nationwide to these conferences, industry conferences, I started to see that not everybody really operates the same way. And I think as a business, from a business perspective, yes, you want to meet your bottom line, you want to grow revenue, but the way that we really pride ourselves in growing our revenue is staying true to our core values. I currently wear 2 different hats at ITI. It's the VP of Sales. I'm extremely hands-on with our sales team and really driving how we're showing up for our clients. What are the solutions that we're offering? Are we listening to our clients and customers, and even those leads that are just coming in that just have a simple need? I think it's really important that we are very in tune with what our clients want. I truly believe that what got us there yesterday will not necessarily get us there tomorrow. and the way that we have grown has really been a big attribute to how we completely find our core values to be a fundamental, it's vital really in our growth. And so my two hats that I wear currently is running our sales team, and which is very client-centric, and then also how is our internal staff aligned with our core values. From the hiring perspective, we're extremely diligent in looking for staff that's actually aligned with our mission, our vision, and bridging the gap to, bridge the gap in cultural competence piece to communication, and being aligned with our core values, because it's really essential in how we're showing up for our clients, because we get together as a leadership team at ITI and we can have the best product, we can have the best service, but if our team internally is not driving that forward with the same values that we want, it's not gonna happen. And so we truly believe in how we're attaining our staff and how we're making sure that everyone's aligned with how we're showing up, how our team internally will essentially be executing that vision, and in turn be affected by our clients and even that end user who might be a patient that is not, understanding the English language, so therefore we come in and bridge that gap. Really excited to be a part of this conference. I know that when we were founded, our founder was very integrated as being hands-on and chief court interpreter, and really holding true to her mission of having the flexibility to really adapt and change as far as how much things are changing with language services. How you access language services today is very different from even just 3, 5, 7 years ago. One of our core values is how do we stay innovative to ensure that we're staying on top of our game so that we can best service our clients. And that's really the end mission. One of the things that I think is also important is, some people tell me when I go to these leadership, strategic leadership, executive leadership meetings is, you have such a diverse staff. And I said, I think it's very important that you are being mindful and really being intentional on who you're looking to hire. I've been in sales my whole life. I think my mom said I was in sales since I was 3 years old. But, I think you attract what you're about, what you attract, what you're aligned with. And we do have a very diverse staff at ITI, and I think it's something that, when you're having the right culture and you outline the vision of what you're looking to have, because it's such a vital component in the growth that your company will have and the success. And I think that that's what we owe a lot of that to, is that it doesn't matter what background people come, what sex, is we're looking for true core behaviors and alignment. And I think that is what our success has been with culture overall at our organization. And it's every day. It's not always having the perfection. No company on this planet is going to be perfect 24/365. And it's just about the journey. It's about the journey and staying true to our core values. And everybody, we kind of have this culture of keeping each other accountable, because that's how we grow. I'm honored to introduce David Casey. I know once I got to learn a little bit more about his background, I was really honored, because I feel that that's what I strive to have, a great culture in our workplace. And I feel that, this is kind of up my alley in terms of the role that I'm in, except I'm more of a, new to my role, 4 years, and I'm sure he's got a lot more experience than I do. David Casey is the Chief Diversity Officer for CVS Health. Previously, David served as the Vice President of Workplace Culture and Chief Diversity Officer at Anthem. There he led the development and implementation of diversity management and workplace culture, shaping and integrating strategies for 42,000 associates, positioning Anthem as one of the top companies in the U.S. for diversity. David is an 8-year veteran of the United States Marine Corps, having served in Operation Desert Storm. He's active in his community, and he currently serves as an advisory board of director capacity to several national and local organizations. He also serves as the advisory board of the Human Capital Executive Research Board, Chief Diversity Officer Board, and the National Association of African Americans in HR. Through his work and expertise, Casey has earned several professional service accolades, including recognition by Black Enterprise Magazine as a top diversity executive and induction as a fellow into the National Eagle Leadership Institution. During his tenure at CVS Health, the company has earned a place on major public rankings, including Diversity Inc.'s top 50 companies for diversity. With more than 17 years of experience, Casey is recognized as an expert in his field of strategic diversity management and has published and cited in Forbes, Wall Street Journal, and New York Times. Please help me in welcoming David Casey.
Hey, before Peter and I get started in our fireside chat, although there is no real fire, I want to say thank you to Peter and the team at the Gnemsdc. Did I get all those letters right? Thank you to the team for inviting me. And I also want to give a shout out to, and no offense to the other supplier diversity professionals in the room, but the hardest working supplier diversity team in corporate America, led by Monette Napick, Gianna Vellante, and Edwin Alvarez, my colleagues here joining me today. They are, thank you. I know many of you are partners, and hopefully some of the rest of you will become partners at some point, but they are constantly crisscrossing the country. You know, one of our goals at CVS Health is to make healthcare local. And one of their goals from a supplier diversity standpoint is to come out to where you are and meet you where you are instead of having you all come in to see us in Rhode Island. So they work extremely hard. And I'm just honored to be here to be a part of this and want to thank them as well. So Peter, I think we're going to get started in our fireside chat. And Amirsaul, if you want to play the intro video. Thank you.
Management strategy spurs innovation. It leverages the differences and similarities among our colleagues and provides an environment that empowers everyone. Our leaders understand the importance of cultivating a diverse workforce that fosters creativity, enhances problem solving, and reflects the diversity of our patients and customers. Managing diversity is about educating, equipping, and empowering our colleagues to best serve our communities and to help people on their path to better health. Our commitment to diversity management is strategic and visionary. Our diversity management strategy spurs innovation. It leverages the differences and similarities among our colleagues and provides an environment that empowers everyone. Our leaders understand the importance of cultivating a diverse workforce that fosters creativity, enhances problem solving, and reflects the diversity of our patients and customers. Managing diversity is about educating, equipping, and empowering our colleagues to best serve our communities and to help people on their path to better health.
Oh, I think we're,
yeah. So, David, welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us today and being part of our luncheon festivities. And I want to thank you in advance for what you're going to share with everyone about CVS's philosophy and practice with respect to not only diversity and inclusion, but supplier diversity. So let's start by just tell us a little bit about your philosophy and your practices, both with respect to diversity and inclusion and supplier